My goal on this channel is to build more great mocks and stop motion animations and make that process as easy as possible. So today in this video, I'm going to take my Lego collection from something like this and lots of these to organizing it into something like this. And I'm going to show you my process for doing that. What's up creators, Ryan from Mock Motion Studios here, and I'm so excited to be able to walk you through my process of organizing my bricks for the very first time to make it easier for mock building. I've watched tons of Lego videos and always love the organization that these builders have for their bricks. Now I used to have a massive collection of Lego when I was a kid, but I lost that when I moved countries many years ago. So although my collection might be small now, it will continue to grow, and I want to start it off right by getting it organized properly into something like this that's got nice big drawers and plenty of dividers, and I'm going to walk you through how I'm going to do that. So let's get organizing.
Now the first thing I'm doing here is just emptying everything out onto the table. If I was to do this again, I probably would have taken it in smaller bite-sized chunks, but for the sake of the video, it looks much better and a bit more dramatic anyway. So I'm starting to separate things into some categories that I think would work in my head with the amount of drawers that I've got in the storage container, and a bit of a flicker there with the light changing and needing to increase a bit. But now I'm starting to separate, and you can start to see some tiles and plates, minifigures, bricks, curved slopes, there's road plates. The pink things in the corner are tons of pink frogs. So I'm just pulling all of this apart, separating it out in this what feels like really satisfying time lapse. I'm really pleased with how this came out. All of the trends, orange flame pieces on the right hand side, I actually found those on a pick-a-brick wall, so that ended up getting its own category. But now that I've got a few categories, I need to make a bit of room on the table, so I'm starting to put a few things away, find where everything fits, and this is where I actually divide up the space a little bit more, divide up the pieces and the categories, which I'm actually going to go through with you in just a second once this time lapse finishes, because I'm going to explain exactly what I did and how I broke it all down. Here I'm just putting the last things away right before my time lapse cuts off and I ran out of storage space. So let's jump into how I organized it.
It's now the next day. I'm going to show you what I did to get from that giant pile and mess to what I did here, further to what I explained in that little time lapse that I hope you enjoyed. Now, some of the ideas that I got for categorizing this came from Brickman's Big Book of Better Builds. Yep, that's what it's called, which is an awesome book. If you haven't got one of these, it's really good, especially if you're getting into mock building or want to just kind of build on your skills a little bit. There's so much really good information here. I really enjoyed it. I've dropped a link to that down in the description below. Highly recommend it for helping you out, especially if you're organizing and wanting to get into mocks and all that sort of stuff. So what I did was I sort of started out doing this by brick type, and I kept doing that because I don't have all that many different colors of the same brick type, if that makes sense. So I started off sort of in some of the bigger things like the plates, the bricks, make sure that they were all in there. So I've got a couple of packs of bricks. That's a bit tricky to open, but that's all right. Bricks, random like wall pieces and stuff down here that you can see. And then 6 and 4 by 2 bricks in here. And then because I have a whole heap of 2 by 2 bricks, I've actually put them all into one. These will get used pretty soon because I'm going to do some tutorials for you on mills plates and road plates and what to do with modulars as well, which I hope you'll find pretty interesting. So subscribe if you're into that. What else I did was minifigures. So the actual minifigures that I've got, all the duplicate CMF ones, as well as all the kind of accessories and random bits and pieces in there. Then in here, a lot of plates, so 4 by and 6 by 2 plates, all stacked in there. There's a few extra of those up here because they didn't all fit. And then sort of all the rounded or angled or slanted kind of plates in there. And then we get to a lot of the tiles. So I actually have an order coming of a whole heap of medium or light bluish grey tiles. So that's going to fill up in there, a whole bunch of random ones in there, as well as dark bluish grey from all the road plates and the whole bunch of like 1x4 white plates, which I found on the pick brick wall. So that was pretty cool. And then in here, just regular bricks, as well as all my different types of snot bricks in here. Whether that's snot bricks or plates, they all just kind of bundled into one. And then we start to get into a lot of the smaller ones. Now these do divide in the middle. So you can see there that these divide kind of right in the middle of the box. So these are specialty printed tiles, and then, you know, the grates and sort of vent-like pieces in there. But I've done that in a lot of these. Not all of them have been separated, but there's sort of random small tiles, ingots, there's cheese wedges of all different shapes and sizes, there's round jumper plate tiles, as well as a whole bunch of clip pieces, so all the different types of clips and pins and all that sort of stuff. You saw that one, transparent pieces, so a lot of flames. I actually found a lot of these flame pieces at the pick brick wall, so that was pretty cool. And all my transparent studs and everything as well. And then a ton of pink frogs, because I own the bonsai tree, which is awesome for springtime, but there are so many pink frogs. So I've added kind of all the animals in there, and a whole heap of stud shooters that I just seem to have piling up. Then there's flowers and kind of gardeny pieces. One plate by one plate, so 8 and 10 and that sort of stuff. 2x1s, 4x1s, 2x2 tiles in corners, more 2x2 tiles and 2x3. All the jumper plates that I seem to have piling up, all the slope pieces and angled corners and stuff. This is all the Technic pins, which are not just Technic pins, but all the Technic plates and bricks as well, so that they're all kind of in one place, otherwise they'll just get lost everywhere. We've got a bunch of corner bricks and slopes all in the back here, and then sort of wall pieces, corner pieces, plates, all that sort of stuff in that one. Some of these do get a little stuck. We've got, for some reason, a whole heap of teeth, so added those in there, as well as just kind of some general ones. So studs and 1x1, so round studs and 1x1 plates, all in there, so they're together. Round plates and round bricks. Bunch of random like droid arms and satellites and that sort of stuff. Then we've got so many barista pieces. I don't know if you've noticed this, leave me a comment if you have, but how many barista kind of looking pieces like these ones are there? I seem to get an awful lot of this kind of piece. And I don't know if you do as well, but it's just really interesting that there's so many of them. So there's that, and then there's kind of a bunch of random bits and a motorbike and that sort of thing. Brick separators have their own, as well as all the round pieces, so cones and whatever the cones and other bits pieces are, spare road plates and road stuff, minifigure stands, and a few more sort of sliding pieces and brackets and that sort of stuff in there. And then long arms, and I'm actually going to be using this one in some of my mocks and different things. So I'm just trying to get the camera focus. So that's actually a clear rod on a mixels joint, and it's actually quite a stiff movement thing. So I might actually do a tutorial on this when I actually use it, maybe a short or something, to show you just how I use this to get kind of minifigure positioning, because it is quite a strong joint that is fairly easy to move in really small increments. So if you're going to do stop motion, and then just a bunch of spare stuff. So that's what I did for this. This is the first time I've ever organized my bricks. I'm actually so happy that I have, because it just feels so nice not to have to rummage through that ginormous headpiece anymore, which is great. So that's probably something that's just going to sit on my shelf. But for now, this is going to be great. I can always add more to these as well, because it is a system that will attach to others, so I can add them on the side or top or bottom, which will be great, so that I can continue to kind of build out this collection and these piece categories as I get more and more in my sets. Anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed this video and got some really good value from it. If you have, make sure you hit that like button. It really does help this channel grow. It's a pretty new channel, so I really appreciate your support. Leave me a comment down below, as well as hit that subscribe button, because YouTube does like that. and I hope that you'll enjoy seeing more of this content. Anyway, I'll catch you in the next video.